Today I'm working on how to lower an AX10. I've already done the front, just I was kind of curious to see how it would go. Fairly simple, another freebie, basically just unscrewing parts and moving them around to lower the center of gravity. Went quite simple. I'll pull the tires off here in a second so you can get a better look at what I've done. And then I'll film doing the rear half of it. So let's get to working on that. Okay, with all the tires off, you can kind of get a better look at what I've done. I have flip-flopped the mount for the shock and the lower control arm. As you can see, the rear has not been flipped, just so you can see a comparison between the two. I've also moved the upper shock mount to the innermost mount, kind of get more of a angle to the shock, which I think actually dampens the shock a little more. This one's still in the factory location, as you can see. Quite simple to do. Sorry about the laser beam from the sun there. Let me get my little tripod set up and we'll start tearing things apart. Okay, well, let's start by removing the shock bolt with the world's smallest pair of C channels. Screw that out. Okay, there's that. And swing that out of the way. Then remove the screw for the lower control arm. Okay, got that out. Remove the lower link. Then we're going to go over here, and you have to remove these two screws here. One. And two. Now our lower link arm and shock mount is off the axle. Now we're simply going to take the mount for the lower control arm and the rear shock and basically disinvert it and reinstall it. Just put it right back on there and screw it back in. Very easy, no biggie. Looks like the nut may have jumped out on me, so I'm going to hold it in place. There we go. And then we just reassemble. And get this screwed on here. Like so. And now for the shock. Little swivel balls do kind of present a challenge. But they do sit in there pretty tight. get that started off camera because I have a feeling I'm going to fuss with it a little bit. And of course, once I turn the camera off, it slides right in. Still no biggie. Get him started. Wiggle it around a little bit. There we go. Stick the nut on there and get it started before I grab it with the world's smallest pair of C channels, which are actually kind of handy sometimes. And screw her on in there. Alright, and that's pretty much it. Very simple. It does lower the chassis. Okay, now let's move the upper shock mount to the innermost location. Alright, now the right rear corner is done. Okay, got everything back together. Got the mounts flip-flopped. Got the shock changed to the innermost position. Now you can see on the front, I've adjusted the threaded collar to actually lower it even more. But a little trick I like to use are these team associated shock clips. These are used for like the less expensive shocks to adjust ride height. But they're real handy to make sure all your shocks are adjusted to the same height. So I'm going to use this thinner one. I'm just actually going to clip it onto the shock like this, and then adjust my threaded collar up to that section like so. And then pull them out like that. And by doing that, all of my shocks are at the same height. Now I know some people use digital calipers or what have you, but sometimes that's just easier. And they come in different thicknesses. They're just a couple bucks at the hobby store. They're from Team Associated. I had them in my toolbox, so it was very easy to use. And that's pretty much done for the night, at least wrenching on it. I'm going to finish up some odds and ends and throw the tires and body back on and let you have a look at it. One more thing before I throw the tires back on it. I was noticing at full stuff, it appears that the drive shaft does make contact with the upper control arm. Now, as right now, I'm not that worried about it because I will be switching to aluminum links when I have the opportunity to get them. And I think they're a lot smaller than these plastic ones, so I should gain some clearance. But I just wanted you guys to be aware of that. And here it is all back together. Definitely a lot lower than what it was. I'm really digging it. Especially the fact that it didn't cost anything. Let me throw the body on right quick and have a better look. Yeah, that's really starting to look sharp. Definitely a lot lower than what it was out of the box. I would assume it'd handle a lot better. Kind of guessing the next project is going to be doing some body trimming, because the tires are going to eat the body if I don't. But it's definitely looking like more like a crawler. I like it. Very happy with it.